Thank you, ma'am. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ben Tien, last name spelled Tien, Metro Chief of Police. What I have right now is basically a shooting that turned into a homicide. So with that said, I just want to be mindful that this is all preliminary. The information I have is pretty preliminary. I just got to the scene and I try to get as much facts and details as I can, so I got to push it out. So the reality is, right about like 2:30 p.m. today, HPD, Sort of HPD received a call shooting in progress. So HPD arrived within minutes. Upon their arrival, they noticed it is a confirmed shooting with a victim. A victim meaning the fact is onboarding the bus, one of our metro buses, at the 2200 block of West Bellfort, in the vicinity of West Bellfort, and basically, look behind me, Kirby, right? If you put in perspective, slightly in the southwest side of town. So with that said, based on the preliminary investigation from the witnesses' accounts, we're basically having there was a disturbance on the bus, and that disturbance led to a confrontation between two males, and one of the males, let's call him the suspect, pulled out a pistol and shot the victim and left on foot. Last known location, on foot, basically eastbound, walk behind me, all the way eastbound on West Bellfort, and then make a right turn going southbound on Center Point. So currently we're having a search effort in collaboration with HPD and MPD are looking for the suspect, so this is still a hot scene. The only description I can provide to you right now is the fact that the suspect, which we're looking for right now, is a black male, approximately 6 foot tall, and probably between mid-20s to probably early 30s, with dreadlocks, wearing a light color short with blue and white stripes and a black t-shirt. This is all we have. So I say again with the description, this is the part that I need the public to help me out. A black male, dreadlocks, wearing a light color short with blue stripes, blue and white stripes, and a black t-shirt. 6 foot tall, approximately mid-20s to about early 30s. Last seen left on foot, east on West Bellfort and south on Center Point. So with that said, because now this has turned to a homicide, the victim was transported, went to a hospital, and he did not survive the injuries. So homicide is going to take over the scene, and homicide is going to be the primary investigative agency with HPD, the primary investigative entity. Metro PD will be supporting the investigation. In the same time, we're still canvassing the areas for additional, perhaps videos. We're also actively looking in the bus for some videos right now. Once we're able to get those videos, we will ensure that will get disseminated to the public. Now you can only imagine how dangerous it is right now, right? This is like a middle busy intersection, and a shooting just occurred, and we're actively working the scene, trying to locate this suspect. I am confident that in the last hour or so, there were a lot of folks driving by, so perhaps someone may see something. If you do, please let us know. Since homicide is taking over as the primary investigative division with HPD, so please contact us at 713, or homicide 713-308-3600. Also, Crime Stopper is still a option to call in the tips. So with that in mind, I'm open for some questions.
What can you tell us about the victim? Like, how old is he? Or...
That's a good question, Maya. So the victim is also probably like mid-20s to early 30s, and his identity has not been confirmed yet. And he was just found deceased at the hospital. Just be mindful, we still try to establish his identity and still making a notification to the family too, right? So it's pretty sensitive right now, so.
So he got transported to the hospital.
That is correct.
Were there other people injured or hurt? There were still people around.
Right, there were different, occupants, on the bus, and only the victim sustained a gunshot wound and was transported. No additional victim that was injured.
And do you know what witness was riding the bus told us there was some sort of argument and it got a gun out and there was like a pistol whipping initially before the shots?
So this is preliminary. I don't have all the information right there. No, as soon as I get the surveillance video, I'll probably be able to tell you more. But all I know right now is just basically there was a disturbance, and disturbance escalated into a shooting where the suspect shot the victim at least once and then left on foot. Then the victim was transported, and then he was pronounced deceased at the hospital.
What can you tell us about Metro, like bus service, and also dangers to the public or who you're aware of?
So this is important to me. As I want to follow our mayor's directive. Public safety is the most important thing. This is why I am out here. Thanks to HPD with a collaboration. and the coordination effort, we're actively looking for the suspect right now. The goal is always find ways to make our system safer. This is the intent, right? But the reality is, as you can imagine, we have a large space to cover, a lot of buses, and despite the best of intention, sometimes there is a capacity issue. That's why we leverage heavily on our partners with HPD to help us out, especially with this scene right now. So we have a crime suppression team with HPD, also the K9, along with our Metro officer is actively actively searching for the suspect at this time.
Is the center point scene active? Is that your main focus? Center point?
So as you know, last location we have is that he left on foot. But I'm pretty confident once we get his description, true description, and then get some good video footage. I'm pretty positive that we have HPD has a great homicide team. They can work through all the angles to thoroughly and fully identify the suspect.
Do you know at all why they were fighting?
No, all we have is it was a disturbance. It got escalated to a shooting. This is all we have at this point.
And can you clarify, were they already on the bus when it reached this point, or did they get on the bus?
No, they were on the bus. The shooting, when the bus got to this point at the 2200 block of West Bellfort.
Approximately how many people were on the bus at the time?
I don't have that number right now. I would imagine I could get that, but there's some folks in there.
These two people, were they known to each other beforehand? Do we know that yet?
Based on the preliminary information that we have, it appears that they do not know each other. Or at least there's no relationship.
And can you give us a description of the suspect again? Light blue shirt?
Yep, so the suspect description, approximately 6 foot tall, black male with dreadlocks, wearing a light color short with blue and white stripes and a black t-shirt. Basically, perhaps mid to late 20s to early late 30s. But as soon as I get some additional information, perhaps even a still photo, I would definitely want to disseminate. So I want to ask for your help to disseminate the photo because we do want to find the suspect, right? So, but at the same time, every time there's a homicide, it is extremely tragic. I do want to ask everyone to keep the victim's family in your prayers, and please don't try too hard to find out who the victim's, his identity, because we're still working through the process, and once we identify, the victim with all his true identity, with all the identifiers, we still have to make a notification to the family as well, right? So just please be respectful of that. So.
Did the driver recognize either man, like maybe they ride the route?
Yeah, at this time it does not appear to be, but then again, this is all preliminary. I can only imagine, the driver is pretty shaken up right now, right? But I also want to be respectful to the process because HPD homicide is taking over as the primary investigative entity, and I do want them to start conducting their investigation, thoroughly conducting their investigation.
Do you know at all if the victim was heading home or heading to work?
That part I do not know.
That might be
I do
too
not
early
know.
to know.
Yeah, it'd be too early to know.
I know a lot of people probably use the bus to and from
Perhaps,
work.
right? Perhaps, yeah. Anything else? But yeah, once we get the photo, we'll push it out. But safety is our number one priority. We strive every single day to keep our riders safe, right? And you look behind me, we have a lot of resources out here. We are committed to searching and looking for the suspect. But in the interim, I do ask the public, I am confident there's a lot of folks driving back and forth, during rush hour, around rush hour traffic, that if I see something you do, please let us know, please let homicide know. Also be mindful, in the intersection of West Bellfort and Kirby, perhaps, we're gonna conduct our ongoing investigation. It's gonna cause some traffic, congestion, so please try to avoid this area if you can. Thank you.